Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Live Strong Tech bringing you another video, and in this one we're just going to be unboxing the Galaxy S24 FE. Got mine from Samsung, got mine in the blue color, so we just going to get right into it. Exynos 2400E, 8 gigabytes of RAM. I got 256 gigabytes of storage. This is my first time using an Exynos phone since probably the Galaxy S6, because all the other ones are Snapdragon after that. Yeah, I think so. In the USA, that is. But yeah, excited to use Exynos again. And here we go. So here's your usual stuff. Charger, books and stuff right there. That over there. And then here's the phone. Wow, feels pretty good. Rip this off. And here is your phone. Feels very premium, very nice, very good. Got the blue color. Feels like a Galaxy S23 Plus in my opinion, because I did have a Galaxy S23 Plus and it looks similar to this device. It feels similar to this device. Got 3 cameras. Hopefully they're pretty good. I'm going to test them out. But yeah, I'm going to be using this phone throughout the day, and then I'm going to let you guys know my first impressions and thoughts on the device. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching. Hey guys, so we're back, and I'm just going to do the first impressions of this S24 FE that I've been using for a few days. Sorry if I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but with that being said, I'm still going to get into, my first impressions of this phone. And so far, my first impressions are pretty good. Let's just talk about design. I mean, for design right here, you have just a pretty much sandwich, with the glass back. It is a fingerprint magnet, but obviously you can put a case on if you don't like that. And then you got the aluminum sides. This phone feels pretty premium. There's no issues with, it feeling cheap or anything like that. But I think that the phone pretty much has a really good design. It feels very similar to something like a Galaxy S24 Plus or a Galaxy S24. So yeah, I think that the design of this phone is pretty good. And another thing to say about the design and this display, the bezels are a little bit bigger. Honestly, they look a lot bigger than some bezels that I've seen as of late, like on the S24 Ultra. The bezels are super slim on the S24 Ultra. The iPhone, the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 9, I mean. This phone has a little bit bigger bezels. Some people may not like that, but honestly, you're going to see the bezels, especially if you're coming from a phone with smaller bezels. But after a while, you're just going to be like, you're really not going to care about it. You're not even going to think about it using it. The bezels are fine. This thing's got almost like a crimson chin at the bottom though. But, yeah, like the bezels are fine. I've got no issues with them, but that's just something helpful for you guys to know, that there are, slightly thicker bezels than on the other Galaxy, main flagships. Now for the display, you're getting a 2340 by 1080p panel. It's 6.7 inches. And so far, I pretty much like the display. There's no issues with it. It's clear, it's vibrant, it's nice. Obviously, you got the under display fingerprint reader. And the display is LTPO, so yeah, it can vary from, 1 to 120 hertz. And honestly, I haven't seen really a difference between this and using a 1440p display like on the Galaxy S24 Ultra that I have. Honestly, this display, it gets plenty bright and outdoors. No issues with that. Honestly, I really do love the display. In terms of the fingerprint reader, it's optical. Honestly, I feel like it's a little slow. I'm used to ultrasonic fingerprint readers. My Pixel 9 has it. My S24 Ultra has it. And the optical fingerprint reader on my OnePlus 12 is faster than this, in my opinion. It's kind of slow and it's a little bit lower on the positioning, whereas the ultrasonic fingerprint reader is a little higher, which I prefer. But the fingerprint reader works fine. It's just, in my opinion, it's just a little slow. And I don't really like that animation either. But for the display, this display is pretty good. It's vibrant, it's nice, it's beautiful. You're not going to have any issues with any brightness. What it gets to what, like 1600, probably like 2000 nits or something. You're not going to have any issue with viewing angles or anything like that. I mean, Samsung make the best displays. They make displays for Apple. They make displays for a whole bunch of other people. So yeah, you're not going to have any issues with display here. Now let's talk about performance. And I think this is what everybody is kind of concerned about on a phone with this type of processor. So with this phone, you're getting the Exynos 2400E. You're getting 8 gigabytes of RAM. And at least in the US, I believe you only get 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage. And honestly, the performance for me has been actually really good. Now I'm gonna give y'all this story. So me, I believe that I had an S20 FE and I had an S21 FE. And they both had 8 gigabytes of RAM. And Samsung One UI is really not the smoothest in my opinion, and it never was the smoothest. I think Oxygen OS and the Pixel UI is way smoother. But I think that with 12 gigabytes of RAM that you get on the S24 Ultra, that just helps make everything just so much smoother in terms of performance. Apps stay open longer, the phone stays a little bit smoother. And so when I had those S20 FE and S21 FEs, with 8 gigabytes of RAM, in my opinion, those got a little bit laggy over time. Now that's just my experience. Maybe for some people that probably still have it, y'all probably don't have any issues. That's good for you. Good for you. But for me, when I had the S20 FE and the S21 FE with 8 gigabytes of RAM, it got laggy over time. And you know, just doing regular stuff, you may see like frame drops. Now there always is like frame drops and animations on Samsung phones because One UI is just not the smoothest. But my experience with those two phones, it would definitely get a little bit laggy. And I will say with this phone, there is pretty much no lag at all. So Samsung, I thank you so much for optimizing the software, because with 8 gigabytes of RAM on this device, it's actually very smooth and very nice. Apps open up fast. Things are just really buttery smooth and fast. Like I don't have any issues and there's really no lag. The 120 hertz display makes the scrolling super, super smooth. I mean, you're really not going to have any issues with lagging with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, it doesn't have 12 gigabytes of RAM like the S24 series, the S24 and the S24 Plus, but it has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I think that's plenty fine. I haven't had any issues or apps refreshing abnormally or anything like that. No issues there. And as for performance with the Exynos 2400E, it's been fine. I've been playing games. I've been, browsing Reddit, browsing Instagram, doing all my social media stuff. I was navigating earlier, Waze, Google Maps. Sometimes I do like Uber Eats driving and DoorDash. No issues there. Everything is really, really smooth. It's really nice. And there's no like super bad lag from doing like intense stuff. This phone is pretty good. Now, as for temperatures, I will say that this phone gets a little bit hotter than a Snapdragon chip. And I'm going to show you right now. And this pretty much proves it, but my real world experience lines up with it. So I can go to 3D Mark actually, and I ran a wildlife stress test with this phone. And as you can see, the S24 FE did fine. The battery drained. I ran this a couple days ago, but the battery drained from there. The temperature was 44 to 45, and the frame rate was 27 to 94. Now that's for that one. Now, I also did the same test on my S24 Ultra at the same time, and I'm going to show you the results here. So for the wildlife stress test here on the S24 Ultra, I got a score of 11,863, and this was 9522. And as you can see, the Snapdragon is performing better. We know this, and this has been a thing for a while. Snapdragon performs better than Exynos, pretty much. But as you can see, the temperature for the S24 Ultra was 42C to 44C, and the frame rate was 31 to 121, whereas this one was 27 to 94. So basically, the Snapdragon is going to be a little bit better, but the difference is not by like that much, but the Snapdragon is definitely going to be better. So if Exynos is an issue, you might want to just try and get the S24 Plus or like regular S24 if you want to just stick with Snapdragon and not have an Exynos. But this is probably my first Exynos phone that I've really used since the Galaxy S6. And that phone had the Exynos 7420. And I think that phone, obviously Samsung was, touch whiz, lag whiz back then, but that was the last Exynos phone I used, and it was fine for me. But so far, this Exynos 2400E is fine. Like, it performs well in games, no issues there. Now I can pull up the Geekbench one. Excuse me. I can pull up the Geekbench scores too, and I also ran a test. So these are the scores for Geekbench. And as you can see, that one is 1866, and with a multi-core 5682. I can pull up the Geekbench for the S24 Ultra that I ran at the same time, and this is the Geekbench score for that. So the S24 Ultra, 2163 single core, 6388 multi-core. So obviously the Snapdragon is going to be better. And honestly, this should be no surprise. The Snapdragon is just better. Like, in my experience, Snapdragon chips are just better than Exynos chips. They perform better. They're, obviously a little bit faster. They don't get as hot either. So, yeah, if Exynos is an issue for you, then I would just get like a S24, S24 Plus. But in my opinion, and in my real world experience, this Exynos 2400E is fine. Samsung did a good job with this chip. I've got no issue. So here we are with the Galaxy S24 FE. As you can see, we can log in with the optical fingerprint reader. It honestly is fine. Honestly, I think it's a little slow, but it is what it is. But if we go into the settings, as you can see, here are your Galaxy AI features. This phone has access to all of the Galaxy AI features. It's running One UI 6.1. I had an update when I first got the phone. And yeah, so it has call assist, chat assist, interpreter, note assist. He's got all these nice little features. No issues. Me personally, I use the browsing assist sometimes, summarize. And then sometimes I might use the chat assist or maybe the transcript assist, if I'm doing like voice recordings. But this phone has access to the Galaxy AI features. So I think that's a really good thing. If you guys use all this AI, I don't use all of it, but I think that's a really good feature to have for this phone. So no issues with the AI features that I've seen. And yeah, I like it. So for the camera, you got a 50 megapixel main lens, and then you have the 8 megapixel telephoto lens, and then you have the 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. And honestly, I haven't done like some in-depth camera comparison, but I think that this phone takes pretty good photos. The selfie camera is 12 megapixels as well. So, but so far I've just taken, just regular, basic photos of maybe something on a wall, maybe just a decent photo here and there. And honestly, the photos have been, pretty decent. I haven't done like a thing where I compare it to like something like the S24 Ultra, which I'm going to do in the, main review of this phone, where I discuss the things that I do like and I don't like. But So far, I think the camera's fine. Like, for somebody gonna be buying this phone, I think that the camera's fine. And you're not gonna have any issues with it. Samsung usually does a pretty good job with cameras, even on a phone like this. But I think the S24 FE pretty much is an all-around good phone. Um, the price I kind of don't like, but we're going to get into that with the main review that I do of this phone. But so far, I think that this S24 FE is fine. I mean, there's pretty much no issues with it, honestly. I've got no issues, no lag. This phone is good. I mean, if you want to save some money, instead of getting the S24 Ultra, maybe you want to get this phone, or you could just get like a S24 or S24 Plus. I think you're not gonna have any issues with these phones. So I kind of wanted to do a quick little speed test comparison. That way, people would know like how the app opening speeds are versus the S24 Ultra. So I'm just gonna do that really quick. So let's go to Instagram. 1, 2, 3, go. As you can see, they pretty much open up at the same time. Let's go to somewhere like Reddit. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, they open up pretty much at the same time. No issues there. And then let me load up a game for the last one. That's going to be Bloons Tower Defense 6, which is a game I've been playing lately. So let's load up these. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys want to see more speed tests. I'm just doing a little thing right here, and I see a lot of people do them, so let me know if you guys want to see more. And look at that. They pretty much load up at the exact same time. I think the S24 Ultra was a little bit faster. And in my experience playing this game on these two devices, if you guys know this game, in the later rounds, it can be actually kind of graphically like pretty demanding because like there's a lot of balloons on the screen coming through the maps and there's a lot of balloons on the screen. But this phone has been fine for this game. Actually, both phones have. So there's pretty much no issues. And honestly, yeah, so I've been having a really good experience with S24 FE. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you about that. Please leave your thoughts and feedback. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to still be uploading videos, don't you worry. But thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all have a good day. Cheers, peace, bye.